we are reacting to Stephen A's list of players who he thinks are worthy of a Supermax contract. So I want you guys to put in the comments players you think are worthy of a Supermax contract, and let me know if you agree or disagree with me or Stephen A's takes on this.
Go to the list, please. Give me number 5 on the list, please, right now. Where's it? Bam! Jason Tatum. Why? Because we know the brother's a star. We know the brother averaged 28.8 points a game going in game 7s. We know he averaged 30 for the season. Not even Larry Bird did that for the Boston Celtics. And he's only 25 years of age.
Not too
He's
much on Larry
6'9".
Bird.
He's the reason why Brian Colangelo doesn't have an executive position in the NBA right now, because he passed up on Jason Tatum to draft Markelle Fultz. Okay, no disrespect, but damn it,
not
that's
too
what
much on Markelle Fultz, Stephen A. Not too much on Markelle Fultz. Listen. I know it looks crazy now because, Jason Tatum is who he is. And actually, when I watched the Summer League, I knew Jason Tatum was going to be nice, and I called it. I didn't know he was going to be this nice, but I said JT was going to be nice. But at the time, Markelle Fultz was the consensus number 1 pick. Let's not act like if the Celtics weren't in that same position, they wouldn't have also drafted Markelle Fultz, because that was the consensus number 1. Jason Tatum just happened to blossom into the star he is today. Not too much on Markelle Fultz, all right?
Bam! Luka Doncic. Why? I know he hasn't won to the degree that Jason Tatum has won, but he's Luka. He's box office, not just in this country, but across the world. You understand what I'm saying to you about Luka Doncic?
Honestly, Luka has to be. He has to be. There's no way Luka is not a max contract player. He's played 5 NBA seasons. 5 seasons in the NBA. 4 of those seasons, he's been all NBA first team. That's generational talent right there. That's generational talent. And if, I don't think it's a question that he gets his Supermax. And I think Mark Cuban knows that. Mark Cuban said he'd pick Luka Doncic over his own wife. So I think that says enough about how good of a talent Luka really is.
Right here, bam! Giannis Antetokounmpo. Why? He's a champion, JJ. He's a champion. He's got the resume. We know what he brings to the table, and he wins. And again, European. He's got that appeal. Global appeal. Not that the NBA doesn't have global appeal. They're a global iconic brand. But you know what I'm saying. Giannis wins. Plus, he's got international appeal. It matters. He ain't top 2, though. We know who's top 2. Give it to me right here, please.
Whoa! Excuse me? Wait, that's not what I was expecting. No way. Okay. That's interesting. So Stephen A thinks at this very moment, LeBron James deserves a Supermax contract over Jason Tatum, Luka, and Giannis. That's interesting. That's real interesting. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I was a GM, I would not be inclined to give LeBron James a Supermax contract. That man is 38 years old, 39 in December. Giannis is just in the middle of his prime. Luka and Jason Tatum are in their mid-20s. I'm not more inclined to give the 38-year-old declining superstar a max contract when these guys are they're either at their peak or haven't reached their peak yet. So I would really be more inclined to give those contracts to other guys. I don't think LeBron should be on this list at all. Never mind 2. That's crazy. And this is making me question who number 1 is. Because if LeBron is 2, I don't see Jokic here on this list yet. And I know how Stephen A moves with Jokic. I don't see Embiid on this list yet. And I just think that's real interesting. My prediction, if LeBron is at 2, is that Stephen A is going to put Steph Curry at 1. I can't deny that Steph Curry is somewhere on the list, but I probably wouldn't put him 1. And LeBron definitely should not be here, in my opinion. But we'll see who he got. And I'll see his explanation for LeBron, but I'm just not seeing the vision. Especially for him to be over these other guys.
Please. LeBron James, 20th year in the NBA, approaching 39 years of age, still averaged about 29. The brother is something special. Top
we know
2
that.
all-time, number 2 all-time on my list in the history of the game of basketball. It ain't his fault that the Lakers got swept, I'll tell you that much, in a conference final.
I disagree. LeBron did not play his best basketball in that series. LeBron looked timid. LeBron was taking a bunch of threes. So for him to go, it wasn't LeBron's fault they lost in the conference final is very disingenuous because LeBron most definitely could have played better. I'm not saying it's fully his fault. I'm not saying he even played bad, but he didn't play up to LeBron's expectations. And AD didn't either. So I'm not gonna just say, oh, it's LeBron's fault. But to absolve him of the responsibility, the accountability of them having that loss, LeBron is definitely at like partial fault for them losing that series. He could have definitely played better and more aggressive.
LeBron James, we will miss him when he is gone, except he's not number one anymore.
Yes, sir.
We know who's number one. Give it to me right here, please.
No, he actually did it. No, he did not. Why? Are you serious? Stephen A, come on, bro. That's shameless. That is so shameless. Jokic isn't on the list? I'll give you the pass for Joel Embiid because that boy be flopping in the playoffs. But Jokic isn't on your list. He's not top 5 players worthy of a Supermax? How? That doesn't make any sense. Bro, Nikola Jokic is a 2-time back-to-back MVP and arguably should have been a 3-time back-to-back MVP. And he has a chip now. He's in the middle of his prime and you don't have Jokic on your list at all? He just got Denver their first championship ever. That's crazy, bro. That's insane. You don't have Jokic on your top 5, but you have LeBron at 2. And you have Jason Tatum on there. Respectfully, Jason Tatum is nice. He's not on the same tier as Giannis. He's not on the same tier as Steph. He's not on the same tier as Jokic. So how are you going to have Jason Tatum on this list and you don't have Jokic? That's so shameless. Boo! I respect Steph being on the list. LeBron is questionable, and Jason Tatum cannot be here if Jokic is not here. That's just disrespectful.
I got Steph.
Look at JJ. JJ is ready, bro.
Jay, these are the guys that if you gave them $295 million, there's nothing to blink about. You understand. You get it. There you go.
You want to start first in this ridiculous list, or should I?
I think you
Ridiculous.
You can start. I can start. Where's Jokic?
Huh?
Where's Jokic?
Thank you. Listen. I don't agree with Mad Dog Russo very often, okay? But that's like seriously, Stephen A, what's wrong with you? Where is Nikola Jokic? There's absolutely nothing that you can say that will justify you not having Jokic on this list. Nothing. There's nothing.
Ask them.
I do. Okay, go ahead. And by the way, did you talk to the Sam Jones family about this before we talk about the greatest shooter that God ever created?
Are you saying
That's
Sam
what-
Jones?
Did you
there was
see-
a better shooter than Steph?
Did
Okay,
you see
and-
the
Are you
fuck-
kidding?
And this is where I have to stop agreeing with Mad Dog Russo, because what are you talking about? Did you just call Sam Jones the best shooter of all time? You're chatting. Like, what are you talking about? But like, seriously, how are you gonna look at your 2-time MVP, your NBA Finals MVP, literally just won it, and say he's not box office? And this is the problem with NBA media. NBA media is not hyping up the NBA's best players properly. They're not. They just started doing it with Giannis, but it's very clear that LeBron and Steph are still the faces of the league, which is troublesome because LeBron's 38, Steph 35. You need these young players, these young talents who are really the best players in the league to get the proper acknowledgement. The fact that you just said Nikola Jokic is not box office is partially your fault. But Nikola Jokic is box office 100%. That's skill personified. That's domination personified. How are you going to look at Nikola Jokic and say he's not box office? I just think that's insane. I disagree with Stephen A's list. If I had to come up with my box office players, I'll put Giannis 1, Jokic 2. We're going to put Luka 3. We're going to put Steph 4. And at my 5 spot, I think I'm fine with Jason Tatum being there. I think it's between probably Jason Tatum, LeBron, and a Joel Embiid. I think all those guys are in the mix for that. But the fact that you just don't have Jokic in your list is really bad. Really bad. I don't think LeBron should be on the list or that high, just considering his age And a video like this just really shows the NBA's problem with promoting their young stars and their current stars, for that matter. This is the current and future of the NBA, and I feel like they should be promoted as such. Jokic not being on this list is a crime. And that's all I got to say about that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one.